Now, on Enough Said, with K-Fans Dan Barrero.
It's stupid as a strategy, and it's also dangerous and reckless of the country because.
And Justin Guard.
Now people are going, well, now we have to stand up to this. Like Republicans,
Right,
what kind of America do you want?
Enough Said.
I don't think you can expect someone to be personally attacked day after day, minute by minute, and sit back. Look, the American people elected a fighter. They didn't elect somebody to sit back and do nothing. They knew what they were getting when they voted for Donald Trump, and he won overwhelmingly.
Welcome back to another edition of Enough Said. My name is Dan Barrero, joined also by Justin Guard and Lori Fisher in the control room to start the fireworks, so to speak.
Yeah, holiday weekend fireworks.
Correct.
This fight between President Trump and MSNBC's Morning Joe is playing out for the whole world to see online and on air. It all started when President Trump used social media to go after the show's host. Take a look at these tweets. He tweeted, "I heard poorly rated Morning Joe speaks badly of me. Don't watch anymore. Then how come low IQ Crazy Mika along with Psycho Joe came to Mar-a-Lago 3 nights in a row around New Year's Eve and insisted on joining me. She was bleeding badly from a facelift. I said no." In an op-ed, the hosts of Morning Joe are questioning the mental and emotional health of President Trump. Dan.
Well, they've actually, Mika's been questioning his mental health for quite a while.
I don't think she's
almost on a
questioning
daily
it.
basis.
I think she's making assumptions.
So you're
going
to have to help me through this because the headlines or the reaction from this was, oh my God, the President of the United States has gone too far. And I'm trying to figure out what bridge he crossed here that that we can distinguish from all the other bridges that have already been crossed. Because I don't like it.
Right.
It's indefensible conduct. But what's different about this that has everybody thinking that now this is different and he's going to pay for this and maybe we should impeach him now?
The only thing I can come up with is what people have said that, well, now he's in the office. When he used to say stuff like on the trail, when it was Megyn Kelly and it was Miss Universe and it was Billy Bush and the Access Hollywood bus, he wasn't the president yet.
He hadn't done the oath of office.
So we expect now that he's going to take the oath, like you said, become the president, and then to stop. It's not a good answer, but that's what people are actually saying. Like, I expected more, and I think we all do. I think everybody, most of us, call me old-fashioned. I do think there should be some decorum when you're the president, but I have to agree with Huckabee Sanders. This is who they voted for. This is who America elected.
The cliche is this is beneath the dignity of the office. Well, we know that, but how are you shocked at this point? I don't know. He is, let's face it, he is a shock jock. He's like a shock radio jock, but he's president of the United States.
Right.
Because everything he does is, hey, I'll get him going this time. And what he misses is every time he does it, it kills whatever chance he has to actually build a presidency and get something productive done. Laura Ingraham, the noted righty, yesterday tweeted out there were 2 bills, I think, passed on the House side, one called Kate's Law, and they're fairly important issues. And she said something like to the effect of message discipline. That should be the story today. It can't be.
No.
Why? It's because of him. And even the Comey deal. How is he going to rattle everybody's cages on that one? I'll get them going. I'll say we might have taped those conversations when it was obviously not true. What door did that open? Comey finds out about that, says,
Lordy,
I want to leak. I'm going to have a friend leak some stuff on this in hopes of what? A special prosecutor or whatever the term is, special counsel, be appointed. Then that's what happened. Who does that hurt? It hurts
the president.
The guy who's the president. It's stupid as a strategy, and it's also dangerous and reckless of the country because nobody's going to pay attention to anything else.
The other thing the other thing I can't really wrap my arms. Now people are going, well, now we have to stand up to this. Like Republicans, what kind of America do you want? Well, the toothpaste is out of that too, right? Yeah. This is the America we have right now. Where do we go from here? Who knows?
Hard to say.
Sorry, I have to cut you guys off. We have to move on. Tweets aside, the president got some bad news when it comes to Republicans' effort to replace Obamacare. Senate Republicans pushing back a vote on their health care bill until after the 4th of July holiday. Take a listen.
I think the longer that this drags out, the harder it becomes. There comes a point where you've got to make some decisions and you've got to move forward.
It's unfortunate that our Democratic colleagues refuse to work with us in a serious way to comprehensively address Obamacare's failures.
It's another setback for the GOP. Dan.
Well, we've kind of talked about this over several months before, that the Republicans are effectively boxed in even though I think there's actually great evidence that the healthcare system that is in place is nowhere near as good as some is advertised.
A lot of agreement
I
on
think
that.
there's a lot
Both
of
sides.
issues. There's Aetna bailed out of this state in terms of the exchange, has done that several other states. The numbers are going up in terms of the expense. But the problem is now, even noted righties have said what the Republicans have to figure out is two things are intractable that people have gotten used to. One is you can't nail people on pre-existing conditions. And this thing about you can stay on your parents' insurance till you're 26. Everybody now has to understand in the political field that that is the accepted norm. And there's still some Republicans who are saying, well, we don't understand. You don't understand how expensive that makes the system. It doesn't matter anymore.
The new normal, yeah.
They've got to find a way to change that perception, or they're not going to win on this, no matter what they think it is doing to us in terms of how expensive the whole process is.
And regardless of what you do, you can't do it in 7 days.
No.
That's the other thing, that this bill is being drafted like in secret chambers, and then they're just rolling it out before a holiday weekend and saying, we'd like to have a vote by Thursday. That obviously wasn't going to happen. When it's health care, wouldn't you, because everybody does agree, you're right, I think on both sides, that something has to be fixed. Obamacare is not working on a lot of different levels. So you're there. You're at a point of agreement. Why don't we start from there and actually say, we're going to take a year. We're going to take 18 months, because when it comes to healthcare, is there anything more important really that affects everybody in the country?
And
probably not, right?
And there's nothing, and let's be honest though, it's impossible. If it's almost impossible for the people voting on this to completely understand it.
Right.
The average
sometimes they don't even
doesn't
try.
even understand it. And we don't even have to. We have employers who we get insurance through, but it's messy. But the Republicans are going to have to accept those two parts of the platform, or they're doomed.
Next topic. People do a lot of things to become stars, especially on YouTube these days. But a stunt went tragically wrong. A young couple was trying to see if a book would stop a bullet from a .50 caliber gun, and it didn't. The 19-year-old woman ended up shooting and killing her boyfriend. She's charged with manslaughter. She's pregnant. They have a child together. It's a very sad tale and showing what people are willing to do to be on YouTube. Justin.
That's the key. They're looking for fame, and they found infamy, right? I mean, we'll remember this for a long time. And this is all that this couple wanted. They wanted to have a YouTube channel that a lot of people went to.
There was a very ominous tweet from the woman.
Yes.
In the days before they did the stunt.
You're
basically saying, wait for this one. This one's really going for something.
And it's got to be a lesson to everybody, but it's like, shouldn't we know? That's exactly what I was going to say. You want to say, well, now hopefully people understand this, but because fame is alluring and you can get fame like that with the snap of a finger for doing something cool, people are going to try it. And really, they did a test run on the book, apparently, and in the test run, the book stopped the bullet. That was enough for them to say, let's try it with a loud body.
The people I don't think it's new that people want to do really stupid stuff, sadly. But what has changed, as you say, is now you can do something stupid
and everybody
televise
can watch
it, and everybody can see it. And if you got nothing else going on in your life, or you think this is how you're going to end up, I don't know what,
rich,
on a
famous. They wanted a reality show.
I'm going to
apparently.
go for it, and in the end, you got beyond tragedy here. You got the death of the guy. They already have one child,
they do,
right?
3-year-old who was around.
With another one, it's bizarre. But it ain't gonna. I don't think it's gonna be the cautionary tale, like you say, that everybody says it is. Someone else will do it. So I'll be a little smarter about it.
Yes.
When there is nothing smart.
Or I'm not doing it with the gun, but I'm doing something.
A bow and arrow or something.
It's fitting that it's a holiday weekend, because if you talk to people that work in emergency rooms or anything, when there's drinking during the day and people are kind of just hanging out, and you've got fireworks involved now this weekend. They always say this is the busiest time of year because people do reckless stuff, right? It's kind of a cautionary tale. Hopefully people say, well, this weekend, let's take it a little easier. Let's chill.
Yeah, you'd like to think that. And I guess somebody else in the family tried to discourage them from doing it. You're back to, why would you even, you'd like to think that you wouldn't have to discourage someone from taking a gun to anybody, but especially somebody they love, and say, let's take a shot at this and see what happens.
No.
It's beyond horrific. But like I said, I don't think it's going to happen.
And regardless, they also said the guy was the thrill seeker, the daredevil, and he loved doing this from a very young age. He was always looking for that attention. He was always...
And y'all will see me doing the most in this city to make it the best place that it could possibly be. I love my people. Anybody could tell you that. Y'all are my people. Y'all are definitely my people. And I will be in this community to the best of my ability.
He's excited to be here. Welcome back to Enough Said. The Timberwolves welcoming Jimmy Butler, or Buckets, in front of a packed house at the Mall of America. I don't know how anyone can't fall for him right now. He gave out his personal cell number, which may have been a burner. I did not try to call it, but I did watch a few Instagram posts of people trying to call it, and it did go to his voicemail, or a voicemail that said it's Jimmy.
Well, he told us.
He was FaceTiming a lot of people
okay, what
yesterday.
did he tell you guys?
Well, he told us that he admitted that, I mean, he finally did admit it was a bit, which should be obvious. It was a good bit. It was effective because he was getting ripped by some people who had allegedly talked to some players on the team about being kind of high maintenance. But he basically said, I debated, and I said, let's just go forward and do it. We both have established how we, I think, feel about the deal.
Yes.
I love it. It's a terrific deal.
Very
I actually
big.
like it more every day for reasons we'll get to in a minute. I didn't like the way we presented them. We're so needy. Can't we just have a briefing like everybody else?
Nobody can.
And then have
but it's
a
not like everybody
event.
else now.
Have a public
I
event.
know.
No, we don't want to be like everybody else. And everybody else who does it is who? It's the old, we never can let, because we're so insecure, let the story establish itself organically. We've got to have this big event at the Mall of America.
Did I see Tibbs and Layden clapping?
3,000 people were there.
Well, there were 3,000 people for sure.
Yeah,
now, Thursday's a big day at Nickelodeon Universe.
Yeah.
I'm typically
there
with my son, and I said I'm getting out of there because
That's
the crowd was so big. The most important part of this deal right now, I think, is going on right now. And
Absolutely.
That immediately after your conversation with him and after the press conference, he's on a plane with Karl Anthony Towns, presumably where Andrew Wiggins already is in Los Angeles, and you hope that whatever Buckets wants to impart is going into the brain of Karl Anthony Towns, because the biggest thing, I think, and we've talked about this, is the intangible. As good as he is as a player, and he's terrific, top 15 by most measure, what he can bring intangibly, if that's a word, to Karl Anthony Towns, Andrew Wiggins, and the rest of the young kids is the ethic, how to work, and most importantly, how to win. And that's what I think he's trying to do right now, which I think is important.
Let's make it even tangible to this day and free agency, which I think starts late tonight or Saturday morning. When does it? It starts pretty soon.
Midnight.
In any case. Midnight, yeah, exactly. Or maybe 11 p.m. Central. I will say this, and it's odd to say this about a team that won 32 games, as opposed to the Timberwolves that went to the NFC title, or NFC, that's Freudian.
Yeah.
The NBA Eastern or Western Conference championship round. This team may have more cachet around the league right now than it ever has. Because when it was Garnett, the other two guys were old. There was in Sprewell and Cassell. The feeling was we maybe get a little something out of them, but they're about done. And as it is, we only got one good year.
We have to move on.
And in this case now, the other two wheels besides Butler are young, considered very good, and people are noticing and players are noticing, and that's also where Butler, I think, could come in and help maybe seal a deal to get another free agent to come, at least one more.
Hey, let's take the excitement, right?
Yeah, no question.
You'll be calling them all weekend. Yeah,
you got your season tickets. I know that.
Yeah, I have my Twins, and now I got to get my Timberwolves.
That's it.
Target Field, Target Center.
I want to get to football. A Vikings wide receiver, Michael Floyd, was sentenced to 1 day in prison after testing positive for alcohol while on house arrest for drunk driving in Arizona. He blames a popular tea. Justin.
Kombucha, I believe, is the tea. I knew nothing about it before the defense. I know a lot more about it.
Oh, come on.
I did.
You knew about it.
Do I strike you as a big herbal tea guy?
You seem like
alcohol,
it's cutting edge.
Alcohol, yes. Herbal tea, no.
Right.
And they did the two of them. The team better be
probiotics,
right.
very important.
That's what they say.
You'll worry about that later.
A long time. The kids, I'm big with probiotics.
Right.
The team better be right, because they're putting, when Kevin Warren, the COO, is putting his proverbial weight behind the defense, which is,
we'll have to
it flows like wine around here. The wine, it's all over the place. Kombucha in the facility, in the locker room. We've given them dispensers to take home with them. You better be right, because otherwise you look
the
stupid.
Vikings, the embarrassing part is the Vikings are kind of admitted or claiming they're part of the problem. If you want to buy the kombucha defense, and I'm still not sure I do, they're saying, yeah, we got it all over the facility, and you think they know they're supposed to have due diligence going on those issues, given how finicky those tests are.
Yeah.
I thought, right?
Well, and pro athletes, if I've learned anything about them over the years, they know everything that goes into their body. They're supposed to, and
except for when they don't want to admit.
Except when it was a new supplement,
and
all of a sudden there was a prohibited substance in there, whether it's performance enhancing or kombucha. But if they don't, the team certainly should, and the trainers and the athletic staff certainly should know any possible red flag.
Have you started drinking it since?
I have
experimented with it?
No, maybe for the 4th of July holiday I will. Maybe it'll be a good springboard.
It's supposed to give you a little bit of a buzz.
Have you felt good?
We found that out.
Well, that's the thing. Some people do say, that's why I think they're going with it. Some people say, well, yeah, I can't drink it during the day because then I can't drive home and I can't do my work, where others have actually tried to drink kombucha to get drunk just to test it out scientifically and haven't been able to do it.
We should also mention to Vikings fans, and I still don't think some of them are aware of this. There's a good chance, regardless, that Floyd's going to be suspended for the first four games on the basis of the original offense.
Right.
And, it's a story worth watching for all the obvious reasons, but the Vikings, basically, they doubled down.
They walled up.
As opposed to going the other way, and maybe because they felt a little bit complicit if you buy one of the more inventive defenses I've ever heard, the kombucha.
And with the Minnesota Vikings, it's always inventive. We know that. And this is a new one. This is another chapter. The stories a stadium can tell.
The book would be a very good one on all the
Okay, well, Justin could write a book on this next controversy. I know you guys have talked about it this week, but enough said viewers knew we were going to talk about it.
Right.
John McEnroe telling NPR Serena Williams is the greatest woman to play tennis, but would place 700th in the world if she played the men's circuit. He wouldn't apologize, but Serena did fire back on Twitter. Take a look at this. She said, "Dear John, I adore and respect you, but please, please, please keep me out of your statements that are not factually based. I've never played anyone ranked there, nor do I have time. Respect me and my privacy as I'm trying to have a baby. Good day, sir." Justin, you are fired up on this one.
I think Dan is
Which
too.
of us want to be the bigger misogynist on this? Because we will both be accused of misogyny.
We're going to be right there with Donald Trump.
100%.
And the tweets by Serena, to me, are more ridiculous than even the outrage from people that are mad at John McEnroe.
Do you want to give your email address now?
We can. It's already public.
Okay.
JG@KFAN.com.
Okay.
The Twitter is JGKFAN, which I did. Some people are like, not a good look for you on this Serena thing.
I read that one.
Serena's tweets were ridiculous. John McEnroe not only asked a question, but asked a very leading question, a very direct question, a question that you interview a lot of people. You know when you're trying to get somebody going.
I've been known to
sometimes I think you're doing it more than
Yeah.
Agree that he was led on this
Beyond
one,
agree.
and gave an honest answer. So he's asked a question that was meant to elicit some kind of ridiculous or some kind of response that was going to get yet another response.
Correct.
Answered it honestly, and my favorite part is people are just offended by the 700 deal. People that have no idea about the world of tennis, because who does, right?
You think it's high?
It could be.
Yeah.
It definitely could be, but it wasn't this. It wasn't, I think Serena's terrible. She should retire. He's called her the best athlete in maybe the last 100 years. He clearly has a lot of respect for her. On this one, it shouldn't matter, but I do think he's right in this case, but that shouldn't matter.
The dishonesty is the way this story was reported.
Yes.
Because it basically, when people who want to destroy McEnroe make it appear as if he said in the same breath,
all on his own,
greatest player, women's player ever, but no better than 700 on the overall tour if you put men and women together, which is not how it went down. As you mentioned, it was a series of questions where he was led down a road, I think, where he felt, all right, I'm going to be as honest. You opened the door. And by the way, as honest as Serena, Martina, and other women have been in the past as saying, we can't play on that same level. It doesn't matter.
No.
But we can't play on that same level. And so the level of hysteria on this story, the hyperventilation, to me is beyond absurd. I know we're accused of agreeing too much, but I got to agree with you on this. It's absolutely mind-boggling how the story was misrepresented, and how apparently he is liable to, he has to take a certain position. And the other thing is, like, she was going to go to pieces here.
I know.
Which she's obviously very
capable of taking care of. She brought the pregnancy thing in out of nowhere.
She did do that.
I don't know
she wants her privacy.
Yes.
Except for being on the cover of Vanity Fair, naked and pregnant.
Naked and pregnant.
Which is, again, I'm not ripping.
Do what you want to do.
But it's kind of a contradiction,
can't have it both.
Is it not?
And when these
Laura,
other
you
journalists,
want to jump in?
these other journalists that were interviewing McEnroe,
yes,
basically saying, well, I'm just waiting for the apology,
yes,
because you have to do it. They were embarrassing, I thought, in the follow-up after. It's like, look, he doesn't need to apologize for anything.
I don't have to tell you this. He can be a bore.
Of course.
He can be very jackassy.
I've had my own experiences with him.
And we both ripped him.
Yes.
But in this case, I've got no problem with what he said, and I have no problem with saying, I got nothing to apologize for.
And
sorry.
No sport has been as progressive in terms of equality. Right?
Sure.
Time for the lightning round. Let's begin with a magazine cover that's not exactly what it appears. The cover on the left, take a look at this. Can we get that graphic? Great. On the left is the actual Time magazine cover from 2009, while the other one is hanging in President Trump's golf clubs, but it's fake. Dan.
I don't even know.
14 covers not enough.
That's what's weird about this.
Yeah.
He had like you said, he had 14 dates to choose from, or his people did, and I guess they decided to pick a date he wasn't really on the cover.
Yeah.
How do you even? How do you even invent
come up with that?
I'm not even sure he had anything to do with it. My guess is some bobo. Some one of his bobos did it. But how did that?
Well, and Mika, by the way, to circle all the way back, Mika's a fraud on. Well, we were just making fun of him about the Time magazine thing. Why would he be mad?
You're right.
It was, and I hate to say this about it. It wasn't about the fake Time magazine.
No.
It was about the tiny hands. That's what I want to say about why
Isn't that personal?
It is a little personal.
Isn't that ironic?
Yeah, so she's a fraud about that.
Ironic.
Although Justin, you might have like a fake Tennis Weekly or something. Or
fake Wheaties box.
Monthly.
Everybody had the fake Wheaties box growing up, right? I don't think I had one, but.
Next up, a reporter gets into a heated argument with Deputy White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders after she accused the media outlets of reporting false information. Here's her soundbite.
We're here to ask you questions.
Right.
You're here to provide the answers. And what you just did is inflammatory to people all over the country who look at it and say, see, once again, the president's right and everybody else out here is fake media. And everybody in this room is only trying to do their job.
Well, I disagree completely. First of all,
what do you make of this, Dan?
Well, I don't know what to make of it. It's dogs and cats. I mean, it's a mess in the press room at these days. It's insane. But it goes back to circle it all the way back to where we started. Part of Trump's problem, and even sometimes his people, is try to argue with Mika and Joe on the merits occasionally, as opposed to going personal. The old thing, well, they went personal, so we're going to go personal.
Yeah.
That doesn't even give you a chance to have a discussion if you're even going to have a rational.
And they're also talking about CNN. He's bringing it up all over the place.
CNN blew this last story.
But what did they do?
They nailed the people.
They fired their employees. Yeah. So they had egg on their face, and they tried to make the best of it.
But that reporter's Twitter feed has been going crazy. His followers just constantly with that new Twitter feature. You could just see it skyrocket. Next up,
doesn't shock me.
Twins third baseman Miguel Sano will take part in the home run derby coming up in a few weeks. Justin?
Makes sense, right? Although, has he kind of come back to the pack a little bit? Is that inflammatory?
Are you done with him?
No, I'm not done. It just seems like every time I turn it on, he's striking out. I'm a little bored with it.
He's not going to hit 80 home runs.
It's going to be good. Well, he's going to capture the imagination of everybody because he can hit the bomb.
Most boring event in all of sports.
Home run derby?
I could care less. It does nothing for me. I mean, I like that we got a legitimate hitter in it.
Yeah, you like him in real games.
Didn't Joe do it one year?
He did. And
that's the nadir. That's the low point of the home run derby, I think.
No, there's been other ones.
Morneau
did it. Dozier did it.
Does anybody really care about that?
Yeah, everybody does.
I don't.
Just not you.
Not just that.
Does anybody care about Harry Potter?
Yeah.
Everybody.
The first book came out 20 years ago this past week. Where does time go? Dan.
20 years ago.
We already feel old.
I know.
That was Lori's lead up. Harry Potter.
Were you big Harry? I mean,
I wasn't. I was rebelling for foolish reasons, that everybody was into it, and I was trying to.
I understand that.
I was trying to be the cool guy. Yeah, I did that.
But every Edina kid tries to be the cool kid. And
different
fails
variables.
miserably.
Yeah, different variables.
In many cases. Giovanni loves.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. We're in the phase of reading it to our kids now.
Yeah, we're doing some of that reading too. Yeah, we love it.
We're just going to skip right to the movie.
Comes around again, and finally, it's here. Sunday liquor sales.
Look at the smile on Lori's
Smoke them if you got them.
I'm smiling for you, Dan. Wine coolers this weekend, maybe?
That's a cheap shot. That's uncalled for.
Brilliant cheap shot.
I think maybe I'm just going to start with kombucha.
Start with kombucha.
Does kombucha have less alcohol in wine cooler or more? It might have more.
It's a good test.
It's hard to say.
It probably does.
Is everybody going to go to Surdyk's, or are they still punished?
Surdyk's is punished. You can't go to Surdyk's. You can go everywhere else.
Yeah.
And this is good news for Lori's neighbors because now she's not going to go knocking on their door every Sunday looking for more wine. She can actually go and get it herself.
How many lives are going to be changed? I hope not for the worse in some cases.
It's going to be amazing. It's too bad that they cut her mic.
Dare I say it? Drink responsibly.
Good reminder.
Yeah, but
have a happy holiday week.